Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to do a quick video on making your own bonsai pot alternatives. Cheap bonsai training pots out of various different things, and there's different things you can use, different ways you can use different household things that you might have lying around as pots to plant your trees in, especially if you're on a tight budget like I am. So stay tuned, I'll spin you around and I'll show you what we're up to today. Okay, so today I'm going to be making some little bonsai training pots. So I've got my soldering iron here. I found this is the easiest way to get drainage holes in your pots. You can get a cheap soldering iron for a few pounds. And I've got these tubs here. These were £1 each. So these are 2.3 litres. And the circular ones are 2.5 litres. So they're £1 each in the supermarket. They should make ideal little pots, and I think they were 4 for the price of 3, so even less than £1. So I've got my hot soldering iron, and I'm going to melt a fair few holes on the bottom, and I'm doing some on the side, on the edges, and working my way up the side of the pot a little bit, just so that when it's on a flat surface it can drain still. So we'll do this one opposite, and we'll just keep doing that until we feel we've got enough. So you can also use a hacksaw and cut these into it if you haven't got a soldering iron, or you can just drill holes if you've got a drill. But this is definitely the easiest way, and the plastic won't crack if you're melting it. If you're drilling it, if you're pressing down on it, sometimes it cracks. So I'm going to do some in the middle as well. So always do a few more than what you think's enough. The more drainage the better, really, especially with bonsai trees. So we don't want the water to be able to pool up anywhere in the bottom of the pot. We want it to drain freely. So do a couple more on the inside. I think that's probably enough now. Should drain really well with all these holes. And like I said, melting it just seals the hole as well. You get kind of like a lip around the edge, and it strengthens that bit rather than weaken it. We're not actually removing any material. So I'll do one of the square ones as well, but I won't bore you. It'll take me quite a while to do all 4 of these, so I'll get back to you once I'm finished. Okay, so I've done 2 of them. My soldering iron's still smoking away. I need to clean the tip on that. I should have brought a damp sponge out and just dabbed it off every now and then. But I've got replacement tips for it, so I'm not too worried. So there's the 2 shapes that we're doing, and you can see how the drainage keeps clear if you go up the edge a little bit. Right, so finished all 4 now. Looks quite good. So I'm thinking I might spray paint them as well, so make them all grey or black. I think I've got a can of grey spray paint somewhere. So they should be pretty good. Okay, so I found a can of grey primer, which should be ideal. And I'm just going to spray the rim and then flip over and spray the outside. Not too worried about the inside because it'll be full of soil. So I might have to do a couple of coats, just lightish coats. otherwise it will start trickling down the edges. I'll just spray the inside anyway, just because I'm here, but it's kind of pointless. So, still going, I've got 2 more to do, and it's easier to start from the upside down and then spray the rim last, because we're not worried about the bottom anyway, so we can flip over onto the bottom. And if we end up with any random leaf marks or anything, I'm not really too worried, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just colours up the main sort of bright colours, pinks and greens. Makes them look less like pots and more like actual bonsai pots. So it should be just about done now. We'll flip them over and do the rim. And I'll just leave them out here in the sun to dry for half an hour or so, and they should be good to go. And I'll give them another coat if they need it, but we should be good. So I'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, so the paint's all dry now. I think I'm only going to do 1 coat. I think it's covered perfectly fine. A little bit thick in places because you can see where there's drips forming, and a little bit thin in places, but it doesn't matter, it just takes your eye off of them being pink or green. So they should be quite respectable, quite usable little plant pots, little bonsai training pots. They're ideal for bonsai because they're quite shallow, and it allows you to spread the roots out in there so that you can work on the surface roots. So it's just an idea. So 4 for £3 I got these for, and they had all different ones, but these were the best sort of size that I wanted. They had smaller ones and ones like little strainer ones and all sorts. It's just a big pallet full of plasticware pots in Morrison's supermarket in the UK. So it's £3 for 4, so I'm not going to bother doing the maths. So 75p each. Oh, the maths is easy. 150, £3. So 75p each. So absolute bargain. A little bit of spray paint. I already had the tin lying around, so you can pick their cans of spray paint up for £1 or £2, and you can use, probably be able to do about 30 of them with 1 can. So it's just a little idea for you. If you're like me, you're on a really tight budget, but you still want to do bonsai and stuff, you can. I've also used ice cream tubs, like you can see with this one. Just spray painted an ice cream tub, put some holes in the bottom. And washing up bowls, because they were £1.70, way cheaper than any sort of plant pot that I could find. There's a circular one there, rectangle one. You can also use the litter trays and various other things. I just tend to use what I can get cheap or free. So more things in washing up bowls. Another alternative is to make your own concrete ones. So I got the shape for this from a Quality Street tub, I think, and used that to mound up a pile of sand, and then poured the concrete over the top and smoothed it off with a piece of plastic. I did do videos on making some of my concrete pots, so have a look on my channel, and it'll be one of my most popular videos, I think, so it should be near the top and you'll be able to find that. Another cheap sort of pot is these Italian terracotta ones. They're about £3 each, and they're quite good, but they tend to crack a bit. After a couple of years they start degrading, especially in the winter. But they're not bad, they do last sometimes. And another ice cream tub there. Again, because the tree's in training, I don't expect that pot to survive for more than a year or 2 years. Maybe lucky if I get 3 years out of something like that. And that's about the same sort of lifespan as one of these before they start going brittle. Okay everyone, so thanks so much for watching. So today we made these 2 different pots here. We made 2 of each, the circular ones and the square ones. And I showed you all my other different household recycled pots that I've been doing. So I'm just trying to show that everyone can do it, even if you haven't got any money. You can use things that you can find lying around. These are just little cheap pots, and the ice cream tubs they're just rubbish. So I'm sure you can get hold of some sort of shallow pot type thing which you can use, and you can get yourself a little seedling from somewhere for free, or start from seeds collected. Yeah, so you can get into bonsai for nothing, literally for free. That's what I'm trying to show. Okay, so thanks so much for watching everyone. I hope you're all good. Hope you have a great week, and I'm sorry I forgot to turn my fans off, so hopefully they're not too noisy. But I've just had them running on the power pack because it was getting into the mid-30s in here and it was getting really hot. It's cooling down now that the shade's coming over. Everything's growing like mad out there. It looks really good out in the garden this year. You can see behind me, that makes quite a nice shot. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you on the next one.